Hello,
How are you?
Mr. Hashim.
क्या हाल है?
Good, good. How are you?
Good, good.
Please,
What is this?
microphone.
How are you?
Good, thank you for taking time out. Finally, do you know how long we've been trying to coordinate?
I know.
Shut up, not.
I'm so bad.
Mic की direction actually ये है.
So I put it
Flip
this
it
way.
in this.
पता है I'm really like technologically challenged. मुझे तो वो ड्राइव पे Google ड्राइव पे भेजे ना लिंक मुझे बहुत मसला होता है. I really don't know how to send them. So I recently sent somebody stuff and then I explained that I really don't know.
Okay.
Because they like permission चाहिए या कुछ. And I'm like वो कैसे करते हैं? So I'm like I feel like a grandparent now in terms of technology.
Amazing. So ये बड़ी मज़े की बात है. सब आपको बहुत समझते हैं.
मैं कुछ भी नहीं है. मजाक है सारा.
Aww.
Like I even पता है जब when I was in NCA, so I was I love it. Sparks. That's what happens when we meet. Sparks.
Oh, sparks fly.
Sparks fly. So I was saying even when I was in NCA, so because I was in graphic design, communication design, तो उसमें ये होता था वो जो होता था ना like Photoshop पे चीजें करनी है सारा कुछ कर लेते थे, but मुझे हमेशा होता था that you know काट पीट के लगाएं, you know हाथ से करें, हाथ से ड्रॉ कर दें, हाथ से बना के स्कैन कर दूं. So वो
You're more like tangible चीजें.
tangible चीजें. तो अभी तक मुझे होता है कि tangible चीज होनी चाहिए. मुझसे नहीं होता ये सब कुछ. Like
Computer पे बैठ के नहीं
I'm not very good at that at all.
Oh, that should. I mean, we can start from there. Okay, actually, तो अब because everything's so digital and people ask for presentations and mood boards and draw. अब हमें.
So पता
So what do you do?
I think it's become easier now. I'll be honest because पहले होता था कि it would take me a good I think like 6-7 घंटे to make mood boards because मैं references निकालना, फिर उनको जोड़ना, फिर उनको Photoshop पे, although वो इतना नहीं होता काम कि आपने image लगाई जा रहे हो, but फिर अगर if you're you know wired to put things together in a certain way कि वो लाइंस भी मैच करें और वो यू नो ग्राफिक डिजाइन का जो एक होता है, तो मुझे बहुत टाइम लगता था चीज़ों को जोड़ने में, छोटा बड़ा करने में. हालांकि इट्स नॉट दैट मच, बट वो उसमें भी ये होता था कि आप लगा रहे हो ना तो आपको काफी टाइम वेस्ट हो रहा होता है. वो बेशक 1-1 मिनट करके इफ यू पुटिंग 100 पिक्चर्स तो 100 मिनट्स तो गॉन लाइक दैट, राइट? सो तो वो होता था. अब तो ये हो गया कि देयर आर सो मेनी एप्स, सो ऑन सिटिंग ऑन योर फोन यू कैन टेक आउट रेफरेंसेस एंड इमेजेस एंड व्हाटएवर यू आर थिंकिंग
And organize them.
उसको सीधा कर ले. एंड मुझे लगता है और आसान हो गया बिकॉज नाउ आईपैड के साथ आपका पेन होता है, सो मैं तो उसको लिटरली लाइक अ स्केच बुक यूज करता हूँ ना, तो मैं तो हैंड रिटन नोट्स भी डाल सकता हूँ, कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ.
Fantastic. So now that's your way of doing stuff.
Yeah. So उससे I think इतना मसला नहीं होता.
मुझे अभी recently in one of my master classes, this question actually came up. This kid said that you know mood boards आते हैं clients की तरफ से या they ask for a mood board and कहते हैं उसमें पत्ते भी होते हैं और कोई texture भी होता है और रंग भी होते हैं and it's like it's too much information for them to understand. So what's that?
मैं आपको बात बताऊं, मूड बोर्ड जो है ना, मूड बोर्ड का कॉन्सेप्ट इज समथिंग व्हिच पीपल आस्क फॉर राइट नाउ एंड इट्स सो फनी दैट व्हेन आई स्टार्टेड ऑफ पीपल डिड नॉट नो व्हाट अ मूड बोर्ड वाज. लोग कहते थे मूड बोर्ड क्या होता है.
And how long ago is this that people didn't know?
This is I think 6 years ago.
Really? तो हम यानी जब हमारा
Did you guys have mood boards?
Yeah, we used to prepare और उस वक्त भी यही होता था कि what and then we obviously and we actually our education was from
I think Dubai, right?
No, not that way. I'm saying about mood boards. Education हमारी लाहौर की है. We were at
But I think you guys worked.
We worked in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. But mood boards का जो language और ये सारी जो industry language थी ना, we learned that from advertising agencies.
It is an advertising term. Why? Because honestly speaking, जो fashion था, fashion को इतना seriously हम लोग ही ले रहे होते थे. I feel लोगों को इतनी sense नहीं थी. I feel और industry उतनी बड़ी नहीं थी जितनी अब हो गई है. Like I feel now it has just like boomed because people have taken out टेक्निक्स के ऐसे करके ब्रांड बन जाता है और ऐसे करके बन जाता है. एंड आई थिंक सोशल मीडिया की वजह से देयर आर सो मेनी ब्रांड्स दे डोंट हैव. पहले तो शॉप बिजनेस था ना, लाइक यू नीड टू हैव अ शॉप और यू नीड टू हैव एन आउटलेट और अ प्लेस टू पुट द स्टफ,
यू नो, ब्रिक एंड मॉर्टर फिजिकल स्टोर.
या आपको चाहिए जहां लोग आएंगे. नाउ बिकॉज ऑफ द ऑनलाइन एंड स्पेशली ड्यू टू कोविड आई हैव सीन सो मेनी यंग पीपल, टैलेंटेड यंग पीपल come up with these like streetwear brands,
right?
And great brands, and I don't mean like बस वो एक t-shirt के ऊपर print, you know, like good design,
right,
and they're doing it from their home. So उसकी वजह से I think the industry has grown so much that now in fashion as well, people are like mood board से फर्क तो पड़ता है. You can understand what the person's saying.
right.
But I personally always feel that a mood board, to certain extent, yes, is talking about कि ये लगेगा, but most of the time this is just a feel, it's a mood. So लोग क्या करते हैं, जो मैंने देखा है कि वो mood board उठाते हैं और कहते हैं ये भी होगा, ये भी होगा, ये भी होगा, prop में ये होगा, texture में ये होगा, ये होगा. But that's not what you're saying. What you're saying, it's literally a mood board. It's a mood.
Right.
Because
this is the tone. This is the theme.
Or this is the inspirations that we're taking. और यहाँ से चीज यहाँ जाएगी.
Right.
पर लोग तो वो भी करते हैं ना कि ये बन रहे हैं, ये बनाएंगे हम, और ये ऐसे बनेगा. वो नहीं होता. You're not showing, like, it's not like a, it's not the drawing of what you're doing. It's a mood board. It's mood.
Do people let you do your job, or do they try to micromanage it and say, yeah?
I think I'll be very honest. I've come to a point in my career where people don't question me much now.
Now they don't.
Now they don't. But there was a time and where people would be like, वही वाली चीज़, ये सब कुछ होगा, या वो वाली चीज़ that ये जो आप बना रहे हैं सारा, ये ऐसे क्यों नहीं, ऐसे क्यों है. So उसमें मुझे ये लगता है that's a horrible thing to do to any creative. Like even right now, if I'm working with somebody and I'm, let's say, doing an editorial, when you hire somebody and you don't hire them because you trust in them, you hire them because it's a means to an end. Because कोई और available नहीं था या whatever, you आपने कोई काम अपना करवाना है. So I think वो collaborative effort जो होता है ना, वो I personally can't work like that. अब पहले मैं कर लेता था because आपको करना पड़ता है. कुछ point पे you're also educating the client and you're educating yourself. But now the people that I try to work with again and again are very collaborative in the sense that you're bringing me in as an art director or a production designer. So I listen to what you're saying and I create my thing because that's my job, you know, and then you can give ideas, sure, but then whether I do them or not is also my thing because obviously एक experience होता है आपका जिसमें आपको, उसका मतलब ये नहीं आप आंखें बंद करके बैठ जाओ कि you know मुझे ज़्यादा पता है, वो मैं बिल्कुल नहीं कह रहा. But कई दफ़ा ये होता है कि हमारा शूट है, हमें ये एग्जैक्ट चीज चाहिए, हमारे पास बजट भी नहीं है, हमारे पास वो भी नहीं है, पर आप कर दें. So then what am I getting out of it?
Right.
Labor basically. You know, like you're just a labor. So I think आप creative इंसान को
give them room.
Give them room. And if you don't like it, don't work with them again.
Has that happened to you?
I think ये नहीं होता. पाकिस्तान का एक बहुत interesting चीज ये जरूर होती है that they will literally say bad things about you, but then they will still work with you again and say bad things about you, but still work with you because आप काम चल रहा है.
Yeah.
मुझे लगता है professionalism में ये होता है that you work with somebody, you let them do their thing. If it doesn't work out for you, you don't work with them again. If that person doesn't work, and that's also fine because not everybody can work for everyone.
I have also seen that happen and I've heard it as well, and people keep working with the same team although they've literally just a night ago they've bitched about them.
Yeah.
And to me it's like, you know, it's kind of
because lack of professionalism हमें सिर्फ नजर आता है जब कोई टाइम पे नहीं आ रहा या टाइम पे चीज नहीं दे रहा या you know overcharge कर रहा है, वो हम कहते हैं प्रोफेशनल बंदे नहीं है. पर professionalism is not that. Professionalism is I hire you as a professional, you give me your time, you give me your energy, you give me your experience. If I don't like it, XYZ reasons, maybe a person's too rigid, maybe the person doesn't, maybe जो आपका client है वो वाकई में आपके साथ collaborate नहीं करना चाहता है. So but then you're not made for them. Somebody else is.
Bilkul. So why don't they, because there are now, mashallah, there are so many creative people.
Yeah.
So why don't they try new people?
I have no idea. I would never understand that.
और ये वाली यानी गंदी एक toxic relationship. I've seen it, like I've seen photographers complain about clients complain about photographers, models, yet
वही चीज चल रही है.
वही combination बना के आप फिर करो, and it's like when you could have at least give it a shot with somebody else. But I think वो भी है. They now more so because of the pressure and I would say piggyback riding on somebody else's fame. Okay, oh, even though I hate that model, but because she's got so many followers, we have.
But then I feel that everybody is kind of, you know, you're letting that experience or that person's behavior. उसमें उस बंदे का कोई कसूर नहीं. I feel. You know what I mean? Like if a person is something, you're enabling it.
You're enabling that.
And if you're enabling it, then you're part of the problem.
Part of the problem, and you're creating this toxic environment which is not going to change. I mean, shukar hai thoda.
Then people should blatantly say I'm doing it because this person provides me with the thing, so then I'm gonna live with their attitude or you know, with the way that they work.
Right.
I mean, जो bad behavior है वो bad behavior है. But then you also need to draw lines and boundaries somewhere. I feel. I personally don't like, if I can't click with a team or I can't click with a client, I try not working with them again. And मैं वो नहीं करता कि like I don't try कि मैं उनको हर जगह जाके बुरा भी बोल रहा हूँ. I just, and मैं ये भी नहीं कहता वो बुरे हैं.
Right.
It's just that they just didn't work with me, and that's fine. Maybe in a few years I will grow to a point where I work with them, or they will grow to a point where they can work with me, and that's fine.
Absolutely.
But I think यहाँ पे हम लोग सब काम भी करना है, बुरा भी कहना है. I think that comes with the package of being Pakistan. I feel.
Yeah. Who were your mentors and people who bucked you up when you started? Because I know art direction की कोई degree तो नहीं होती ना.
नहीं.
Right?
नहीं.
So,
and also when I honestly started off, there was no like art direction का concept ही नहीं था. वो यही होता था that you know.
It was just blurred.
It was just
these lines were all blurred.
Photographer ही set बना देता है.
Exactly. हम लोग ही ठाक लगे
कर दिया है और करा दिया है या करवा दिया है.
Yes.
I think one person that really pushed me at the start was Saima, the makeup artist.
Right.
Because she had worked in international industry, so she knew. Like I remember at that time she was like, you should be an image consultant, and I was like, वो क्या होता है? And उसका भी concept अभी तक पाकिस्तान में उस तरह से नहीं आया.
Right.
But internationally है.
बिल्कुल.
You know, so she would be like that, you know. Do styling or stylist का concept नहीं होता था. I remember Haya Bukhari was one of the first ones who actually really worked hard in that area where she was pushing for a stylist, and shuru mein it was just Haya Bukhari who was doing everything, and then you know then a lot of other people started coming in. So art direction mein to bahut recently I've started seeing people come in because वो formula किसी को समझ नहीं आ रहा था because मेहनत लगनी है, खप लगनी है, distinction कहाँ आनी है. So I think वो बहुत ज़्यादा था. But Saima was somebody who really bucked me up and pushed me, and you know. What
were you doing in that particular project that she noticed you?
So I was working for US Apparel, and we were making denim. So I worked in the research and development department for US Apparel, and I used to make denim wear for Levi's and Zara and H&M.
Okay.
And नई innovations try करते थे. It was a fun thing that I was doing. I really enjoyed it. It had nothing to do with my degree, but you know the department was very nice because you're doing research and development on a global scale. So the kind of work that I did for them, जिसमें hand painted denim था और पता नहीं क्या क्या, वो सारा was even like showcased to the world, और वो WGSN पे आता था. And you know, so it was a lot of वो आपको मिलता है. उस time पे a friend of mine, Fatma Gain, she was working with Asadul Haq, and she was working
as
Fatma
a
Butt. No, this is Fatma Gain.
Oh, Fatma.
Somebody else. So she works as a food stylist and an art director and production designer, but she was working as an executive producer with him.
Okay.
And she was working in his team. And she told me that Asad is making a movie, and he wants you know, you style thinged in NCA, so why don't you come on board as a stylist? HSY is doing the wardrobe वगैरह, and so like for the main leads, but जो हमारा बाकी सारे talent है उसके लिए we need somebody, so do you want to do it?
What movie is this?
देख मगर प्यार से. So Asad, so she told me that, and so I was like, what? I can't, like I was like मैं कर सकता हूँ, but like I'm doing a job now because I decided in my head that भाई 9 to 5 job and अच्छा पाकिस्तानी male boy with a 9 to 5 job, a good salary, and you know you get time for yourself and all of that, but अंदर का कीड़ा नहीं मरता ना. So
even if it doesn't, like you're not applying your degree, but still.
Yeah,
whatever.
So I was applying my degree. So my degree, because communication design was such a vast degree कि मैं जब उसको study भी कर रहा था, तो I only did it because you could do anything in it. Because you're communicating through visuals, and visual can be anything, right? Because the world has changed so much. It was changing at that time.
बिल्कुल.
So technology आ रही थी, तब अभी VR का concept था, कुछ होगा आएगा, तो अब तो मतलब बच्चों की games होती हैं उस पे, you know. So वो जो पूरी चीज उसके ऊपर she told me, and I remember I said that I can't do it, but I want to. So the writer of the movie, जिसका नाम भूल गया, he was sitting there and he said दिल चाह रहा है. I was like yes. He's like कर लो, देखी जाएगी.
Amazing.
So with a 9 to 5 job, I said I'll do this movie. We'll see what happens. So then I had sleepless nights. मैं ऑफिस में आके सो रहा होता था, and you know like मैं ऑफिस के काम भी कर रहा हूँ, उधर के भी करवा रहा हूँ, and खुद से 1-person army type situation. पूरी फिल्म की styling I did that with like the extras and stuff and everything. But उसके ऊपर I think I to this day say that was the best work experience or just experience in general, because the people I met on that set, and I didn't go in wanting to make like friends in the industry, because मुझे तो कोई था ही नहीं उस तरह से, but I met Saima on that, I met Fatma Gain on that, well Fatma Gain I knew from before, but I worked with her again, I met so many people who are working in the industry now, and so many, Amna Zubairi, Kohi Mari, they were all working on that film, and we're really close friends now, so and फिर उनके साथ Saima saw me there and she's like, oh, I'm back in Pakistan, because she's not like, she doesn't work from here, so she was like, oh, L'Oreal is doing this Disney princess ki series, and I feel that you like Disney princesses, and I love them, so she was like, why don't you come and do the styling for that, और आके कुछ भी कर दो. And uspe I still remember Lotus PR was the one managing it. They're like, what's an art director? What's a stylist? Why do we need them? So I got paid very little for that, like hardly anything. But just the fact that I got to create Disney princess, and Sabika Iman was Snow White, and Zara Pirzada was like Cinderella. Like it was so much, and Mehreen Syed was Jasmine. Like it was so much fun creating them and working on the visuals with them. And so wahan se then Sam was like, and then Ali Hassan, I met Ali Hassan through that, because he was doing the photography, and then I started doing shoots with Ali Hassan, and then he was pushing clients that we need an art director, ज़रूरत होती है. फिर वो करते then Shayan and Stop Style came along, and I think Stop Style really like took me there wali situation, like they were like करना ही करना है, because वो boys scene होता था ना, like अब कुछ करके दिखाना है, like कुछ करना ही करना है. And then I still remember that you guys really like pushed me with like what I think we hardly worked together, but there was always this really positive push from you guys, and especially like Maram तो बहुत ज़्यादा, like वो तो हर चीज़ पे no, this is good, this is great, तो वो वो push बहुत आपको मिलता है, that when you're seeing people who you've always seen and you've always admired, like look at your work. So I remember that now. So मुझे ये होता है कि maybe कोई किसी बच्चे को तो अच्छा लग रहा होगा, तो उसको अगर आप कह दो तो बुरा क्या जाता है.
कुछ चीज़ों की तुक भी नहीं समझ आ रही होती कि मैं ये क्यों करूँ, लेकिन अगर if somebody sees potential in you, उन पे भी trust करें, right? And I'm glad you did. I'm
sure आपके साथ बहुत दफ़ा हुआ होगा that you would have done projects because you enjoy them, and those projects might not have done anything to you at that current moment, but that because of that project you might have later on and either made friends with people or worked on things because somebody saw that particular project that for everybody else was nothing, but for them was something, so you never realize that how this web kind of, मैं कहता हूँ जैसे Stranger Things में if you've seen that monster जो आता होता है उनका, how it's connecting everything, ये उसी तरह होता है कि आपकी चीजें connect हो रही होती हैं, आपको पता भी नहीं चल रहा होता.
और हमारी कुछ ये जो industry है वो कुछ है भी upside down.
I like our industry. I really enjoy this toxic relationship that the industry has with us, but honestly it's a very kind industry at the same time. मेरा rule होता है, एक rule रहा है, and I'm really practicing it right now, is that do what you love. That's it. Like do not think कि पैसा कहाँ से आएगा, चीजें कैसे होंगी, वो आ जाएगा. They are all byproducts of what you love. And when you love something ना, तो आपको actually honestly बताऊँ तो पैसे का भी मसला नहीं हो रहा होता. Then you don't really think of the money if you're enjoying it.
Right.
Maybe I'm talking from a point of privilege, I don't know, but even having nothing and you're doing something, if you're a creative, that like उसमें आपको 5,000 भी मिल रहा होगा ना, आप बहुत खुश होगे. But एक practice which I feel should really happen, and a lot of I know like a lot of our models really pushed for that as well, is to get paid for what you do. Like don't do like freebies.
Right.
Like look, like even if you want to charge like honestly 2,000 rupees na, that 2,000 rupees means somebody values you enough. They're giving you that money even if it is nothing.
Right.
But it is something.
बिल्कुल.
So वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. And I to see a lot of potential in Pakistan. I've always seen that. I see it in the future, no matter what, wherever the world is going, wherever Pakistan is going. I feel our creative people, like Lahore has been the hub of creativity since God knows when. तो हम उस चीज़ को भूल जाते हैं.
मुझे तो नहीं लगता कि दुनिया इधर से उधर हो गई, कोविड भी हो गया, लेकिन फैशन कैंपेन्स कहीं
वो नहीं रुकी, बिल्कुल
नहीं रुकी. I mean, I would say थोड़ी सी पेस स्लो हो गई थी, लेकिन वो
पेस स्लो भी नाम की हुई थी.
बिल्कुल.
और वो पेस स्लो इसलिए हमें लग रही थी because I give this as an example that in the world, each brand would have like 5 collections a year, right?
Bilkul.
In Pakistan, we have 22.
Bilkul.
20. So you have the
ज़्यादातर-
summer 1, summer 2, summer 3,
Bilkul.
Eid 1, Eid 2,
Yep.
Bakra Eid, Choti
Yes.
Eid, unke beach ki ek, cambric.
Yeah.
Then you have velvet collection. Then there was also a time when people were doing like Muharram collection.
Yes.
Now they call it the black and white or monochrome collection.
Yeah.
You know, so people have been finding ways to make space.
Also, मुझे याद है जब कोविड हिट किया था, सब कुछ हो रहा था, they were just not announcing it because it was illegal to hold congregations and to be in a, you know, तो छुप के सब हो रहा था. तो मैं ये सोचती हूँ कि the world of advertising, and it's not just limited to fashion.
Yeah.
The world of advertising, consumerism, आप जो भी खाना पीने वाली भी देख लें brands, fast food and whatever retail stuff, सबके shoots, ads,
सबसे जो एक मजेदार चीज हो रही थी ना, which I loved. I still remember Khadi did a campaign. And they went with all the, you know, the rules and regulations. They sent the clothes to all these models and they said, you be the photographer,
Bilkul.
you be the thing, and you do these things.
Yeah.
So I remember Zara Pizada and Rubab, and they did it at home.
Bilkul.
So technically, so people were so, like,
they were
I
innovating.
say that human beings are so adaptable.
Yes.
That I still remember at the start of COVID, I was like, ये mask पहन ही नहीं सकते हम लोग. And अब mask के बगैर आपको अजीब लग रहा होता था एक time पे कि मैंने mask नहीं पहना.
Right.
You know, like mask पहनना चाहिए.
Right.
So I think human beings are so adaptable and so smart that even when things were closing down, आप घर बैठे हुए लोगों ने music बनाया है. घर बैठे हुए लोगों ने क्या नहीं किया.
बिल्कुल, we adapted to the point कि हमने फिर online shopping इतनी शुरू कर दी, online stores इतने शुरू हो गए, the way you were saying.
I think उसका एक main reason which I give na, and I think that's why everybody should give Pakistan a chance, honestly speaking, especially on the creative side. Because of COVID, one thing that happened was the borders were closed. So I personally feel, this was my observation, that a lot of the younger talent, younger kids who otherwise would have gone to universities and then never come back, they had to stay back because the universities were doing online things. So they had to stay there. So all the people who are truly creative, you know, they stayed back and then they found spaces to create,
right,
and they did that,
right,
you know. So you've got people, and those people are still here right now who created these brands, these niches in media, in like different forms जो आपको लगता था होती नहीं है पाकिस्तान में, you know, and they did that because they had to do that,
right,
and वो आपको नजर आना शुरू हुआ. और उसकी वजह से when those things became a bit successful, a lot of other people thought कि अच्छा ये हो सकता है फिर. You know, so they did that. So I saw a lot of young photographers come out.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of models come out. I saw a lot of dancers come out. I saw a lot of people who do drag come out.
Right.
You know, and वो अब शायद पाकिस्तान में ये लोग ना करते. ये लोग शायद चले जाते. But क्योंकि रुकना पड़ा और करना पड़ा, तो people realized that there was so much room to actually do that initially, but कोई कर नहीं रहा था. Right,
and they found like अपनी एक space भी बना ली और एक in fact I think they created a space for other people as well.
पता है, that's abhi recently I was part of this performance, Karachi, and most of the time, Aabroo, I'm not kidding, I would sit backstage and I would just feel so overwhelmed with emotion seeing these young kids. And mind you, there was a girl who was like 17, she turned 18 on the set. She was in 55 Main, I think. And then there was a guy who's a drag queen. Then you had people who do classical dancing, and then you have people who do contemporary dancing and hip hop, and the kind of energy that was just there and was out of love. And they were all doing it not because you know कोई force कर रहा है उनको. They're doing it out of love. And I would look at these people and I would say to them, and I don't think they would comprehend most of the time, but I would be like, you guys don't realize the kind of space you're creating for newer people.
Right.
And that one kid probably who's sitting there thinking that I want to do this, but there's no one. Right. And they see you.
They found
and
inspiration.
They're like, this person is my inspiration and I want to do that.
Right. It was, I mean, I unfortunately didn't get to see it, but I saw it vicariously through Instagram. I mean, मैं भी यही देख रही थी कि imagine to me, you're the younger generation और आपको मज़ीद छोटे बच्चे younger generation obviously हैं. So like
no, I genuinely so I there's this dancer Vijaya Vasti. She also models and she's a fabulous dancer, right?
Amazing.
And I danced with her the first time I did Colony, I think 3 years ago or 2 years ago.
That's when I noticed her when you posted it. And then I went and saw her work. She's amazing.
And she's amazing, right? And So me and her was sitting there backstage. So our character was Papa and Mama. Like that was our names. That was our names in the show. We were Papa and Mama, and we had these kids who were dancers. And so I was just sitting with her. I was like, and which is like, remember 2 years ago we were that hot couple doing tango, and now we're literally Papa and Mama. But she's like, I don't mind that. I love the fact that now we can be Papa and Mama because
you literally are. You've kind of
because they're people.
Initially. 2 years ago, basically, you created that space, and now you do have.
So maybe
the newer generation.
Space bani, nahi bani, but just the love and the acceptance and I am so like I have so much love and hope for this younger Gen Z. Like I love them. I love them to bits because I think the kind of things they talk about, the kind of sensitivity they bring to anything that they do, and the best thing with them is they're so unapologetically themselves. They try to be with everything that they do, and that I think we never had.
We
I'll
did.
be very honest.
बिल्कुल and मुझे भी ये feeling आती है वैसे कि यार ये वाली जो और उस जमाने में मुझे लगता है मैं बड़ी confident हूँ, but
और maybe जमाने के हिसाब से you were.
We were. I'm sure we were.
Because of you guys, a lot of these, you have no idea how many young female photographers I meet who say it. Who we used to look at Aabroo and we were like, if they could do it at a time when there were like zero female photographers,
absolutely,
and still pick up the camera and go out every day and create magic and then come up with a business and then keep on doing that, and then with them they're like. So it's you guys and Muzi Sufi, these two people that most female photographers name.
That's so sweet.
Because they're like, these were the two girls that we were seeing who were doing their thing. And just the fact that they were female and they were there. And they were like, we can do it.
Well, somebody has to break the norm.
Yeah.
Somebody has to break that mold as well. And यानी हमने भी बहुत क्या कहूँ मैं यानी not just opposition from other people, but just self-doubt.
Of course.
सबसे पहले तो self-doubt को दूर करके, and then you have to, because although honestly, उस वक्त when you're doing something, मैं कहती हूँ, even if you're as a kid, you're kind of selfish, right? And you're just thinking, मुझे करनी दे रहे, मैं अपने लिए कर रही हूँ ना. But you don't realize that you are actually paving the way for other people. And I remember very early on, this was maybe 2000 and I'd like to say 5. We met Atika Odo, and she had started her makeup brand. So उन्होंने मराम को engage किया कि why don't you travel with me and we go to different cities in around Punjab, and we're going to do makeup on real people and real brides और इस तरह से, and go in real homes and visit them. हमने वो, while we were doing that tour with her as young 22-year-old, in awe of Atika Odo, of course, first of all. This guy came up to us and he said कि मैं अपनी बेटी को photographer बनाऊंगा, because they saw an interview of ours, and I was just like, what? यानी मेरे रोंगटे खड़े हो गए ना कि अभी me, somebody's inspired by me and around what? So
that time was very different.
Yeah,
people don't realize that.
Yeah.
That time, I saw the tail end of that time. And I know that it wasn't...
Oh my gosh, it was vicious.
It was vicious. And it wasn't vicious because maybe the industry was vicious. It was also vicious because the society was vicious.
Yeah.
And it wasn't easy.
Yeah.
So to do that was, honestly, and unconscious level pe, बहुत जगहों पे, so it's not just directly a female doing photography, so let's just, I'm inspired by her as a female, but it was also, I still remember when Maram, I think, told me your entire journey, and started from Abu Dhabi and then from there, and so I still remember, I was like, they did that.
Can you imagine?
How can I, as a male in Pakistan, a Sunni male in Pakistan, say कि मुझे मसले हैं?
और मैं ये कहती हूँ कि imagine me and Maram, जिनका art की study से भी कोई वास्ता नहीं है, तो अपने आप को just believing कि this is something we want to do, we like doing, and we of course, mashallah, we kept on improving at what we were doing, but just the fact that we're just letting everybody know this is what we are, this is what we want to do, and imagine circumstances या कहीं से manifest हो जाता है, and we were plucked out and identified कि हाँ, sure, you want to work as photographers in Abu Dhabi और एक opportunity create हो.
Abhina, recently I listened to this TED talk by Simi Rahil, and she said one of the most beautiful things. She said that to scientists, stardust is debris.
Right.
Right? but to an artist or creative people, it is magic. Because that's what it is, stardust. It's magical. And she's like, be stardust, be magical, because even if you think it's rubbish, it's not, it's magic. And then she said that as an actress, I can guarantee you, and as an older actress, I can guarantee you that जो आपने decide किया है ना बचपन से कि मैंने ये करना है, वो आप नहीं करेंगे, आप करेंगे कुछ और, वो बना आपके लिए होगा, आपके पास आ जाएगा. So never fixate yourself on कि मैं ये करना है तो मेरा ये मैं इधर तक की है, because whatever you want to do, it will change. I'm pretty sure you probably wanted to do something else when you were growing up. बचपन से तो नहीं था मैं photographer बनना. Not
at all. In fact, बचपन से तो I was fed कि you must become a doctor.
Yeah.
And I kind of and I was very happy with that. With that goal, I was in my childhood. All throughout my school years, I was like, and I would work towards it. I was good at my studies until I wasn't. You know, until I realized this isn't for me. And then मैंने वो नाराज़गी भी सही है कि my dad did not speak to me for days, कि you know I did not continue with my pre-medical. बहुत सारे issues इस तरह के, और वो but you sometimes if you must put your foot down,
of course,
and stand up for yourself. वो माँ बाप के साथ ही पहला स्टेप तो माँ बाप के साथ होता है, फिर दुनिया तो दूर की बात है.
सबसे पहले अपने साथ होता है.
हाँ पहले तो
put your foot down, you tell all your thoughts in the head that no, I can do this, I like this is what I like, and I will do this, and then it's closer से बाहर जाता है.
And it's traumatizing, by the way, because I think मेरा सबसे ज़्यादा PTSD, if I think about it, is me failing at school. You know, like just the fact that my grades started failing, and I felt really disappointed with myself. कि यार मैं, you know, I was fine. What's going on now? And then understanding and accepting myself. कि, you know, this is something that doesn't interest me. And I can be successful at something else.
Yes, the fact that you failed. उस टाइम पे बुरा लग रहा था, but अब realize होता है if you hadn't failed at that, you would probably be a doctor right now. Might not want to do it. You know
might not want to do it. Yeah, that would have been painful.
तब realize होता है कि and it's not, लोग कहते हैं ना कि fail हो रहा था तो जी artist बन गया. You know, ऐसा कोई नहीं होता.
No, I chose to.
हालांकि मुझे लगता है being an artist or going to an art school is way tougher than anything.
It is. You know, because वो mentality तो हाशिम अभी तक change नहीं हुई. Which is कि what कैसे कमाओगे? Artist बन के क्या कमाओगे? कितना कमाओगे? कहाँ job लगेगी? Because now mentality तो अभी वही है कि job. Are you going to be able to make money from this?
I think it's changing now.
Kind of.
It's kind of changing. Obviously, it's not
there. आज सुबह मैंने master class की है, और वो student she's an 18-year-old kid. She's in her A levels, and she said the same. She's like, you know, I need to make money from this so that I can prove to my parents that this is a good, you know, it's a solid career. I could see myself through her because हम लोग, that's how we're built.
Same.
कि भाई आपने after your education you need to be part of the economy, part of the society, and we want you to.
Parents just want you to be safe, I feel.
Safe, of course.
So they're also saying it from a point where, you know, they're scared for you because they haven't seen that. So in my family, everybody's a doctor.
Oh,
so like I have doctors on my dadka, everybody's a doctor and great at what they do, right?
Yeah.
And on my nanka, somebody's a businessman, somebody's, you know, like in the government, somebody's doing, so there were no artists. So wo art ke upar, I still remember my dadi got really upset, and I was very close to my dadi. She was very sad that I'm not being becoming a doctor, because they were like, ye padhta bhi hai, iske marks bhi achhe aate hain,
and I was like, ye to kar sakta hai,
so ye kyun nahi kar raha hai? You know, so when I got into NC, like there was a time when, you know, like everybody was like, I could feel this, like everybody was really upset.
No.
But I knew that I cannot. It's not that I like don't enjoy it, but I cannot do this to myself.
Right.
You know, like I need to do what I enjoy. मुझे नहीं पता पैसे कहाँ से आएंगे, क्या होगा, किधर से जाएंगे, कैसे करेंगे. And you know, like we're from a very like a middle class kind of a family जिस तरह होती है. पैसा also becomes a god then. You make it into a god. तो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह, that there's no god except God. Then why are you making money the god? You know.
Right.
So like you're making these small gods everywhere. और पहले कलमे के against जा रहे होते हैं, फिर हम मुसलमान कह रहे होते हैं अपने आप को.
Right.
But वो पैसे को इतना बना लेते हैं कि पैसा अगर है तो है. You would have seen it as well, that somebody who's a top class businessman with lots of money, the money is gone in a day. Gone, finished.
I mean,
and जिसके पास कुछ नहीं होता एक दिन में आ जाता है, you know. And वो चीज़ ये है कि वो आपके इख्तियार में ही नहीं, आपके पास ही नहीं है. So हम तो मैं तो कहता हूँ एज अ मुस्लिम तो अल्लाह ने आपको इतना हैक दिया हुआ है कि एज मुस्लिम जस्ट ट्रस्ट इन मी एंड बाकी कुछ होता जाएगा.
Absolutely.
आप उसी को मान लो तो फिर तो जो मर्जी करो.
Absolutely. I mean, I also think back to, for instance, what my dad used to say, you know, eventually when he did warm up to it, he would flaunt in front of his friends. He's like, "Oh, look, my daughter, this is her work. Look, it's her credit." So
even to this day, my dad is the same. Like
so
my dad does this, my mom does this, and you know, like the pride that they feel that my child has done something. So even
they just want us to excel.
They just
in whatever
want that, you know,
field.
कल को इनको मसला ना. Even I feel जो हमारे एक बहुत problematic चीज़ है जो पाकिस्तान में कहते हैं कि रिश्ते करा दो बच्चों के. You know, I feel कि वो भी जो चीज़ होती है ना, वो भी वो इसलिए सिर्फ कहते हैं कल को अकेला ना रह जाए. You know, कल को अकेली ना रह जाए. And safe हो. वो safety के लिए parent देख रहा होता है. You know, तो वो इसलिए देख रहे होते हैं. So वो बच्चे को प्रूव नहीं करवा रहे होते. आई फील वो उस टाइम में बहुत बुरा लग रहा होता है पेरेंट्स क्यों कर रहे हैं ये सब कुछ. बट आपको रियलाइज हो रहा है वो आपके लिए सोच रहे हैं जो उनको एक्चुअली नहीं सोचना चाहिए. बिकॉज यू कैन टेक केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ.
आई नो वो बट उनके भी वही जस्टिफाइंग हाउ दे फील कि स्पेशली इन अ फैमिली जहां आर्टिस्ट और नहीं है and they don't see,
they've never seen it.
So it's like it's hard for them. It is hard for them.
All my cousins' children and my you know my younger lot of my own cousins, they're doing things which are not somebody's doing anthropology. Somebody wants to be an artist, somebody wants to be a filmmaker. My younger brother is a graphic designer.
Amazing.
You know, so उससे पहले तो कोई था ही नहीं.
Right.
So
but
you open doors. Turns around and says कि इसने खराब ना किया बच्चों को सारों को. But I think it's amazing that you find out that they're just not two professions. They're more way more professions and niches that are empty that nobody is going into. And if you do it, then you actually end up touching the sky.
Now tell me that आपने एक intention कर ली and you have, let's say, realize that you have a skill as, let's say, an art director. How do you approach people? How do you get work? How do you learn more, first of all? मैं तो ये recommend करती हूँ they should attach themselves to somebody first. You know, get internships, learn that way. Before starting to worry about money and मुझे कोई hire करे, you have to be hiring material, right? So how should they?
I never know how to answer that question because I've never really I've just trusted the process always. I'll be very honest. So since day one, I've never really thought कि मैं ये करूँगा तो मेरे साथ ये हो जाएगा. मैं अभी तक it's really interesting that you said that you decide that you have a skill set so you're doing it. I still don't think I have that skill set.
Okay.
You know, but I think
like I know ना जैसे people look at your work, ठीक है, and then they feel inspired, and I've seen a lot of new kids who are all right, but they started now telling this world and the universe that I'm an art director. So but work doesn't really come so smoothly.
Because I personally feel that मेरा जो personal, because obviously I can't say it for anybody else, I can only talk about my own experience, and then maybe even then and even now I've only done things because I again love them, and I love them enough that वो फिर खुद ही आ जाता है हमें ना. There's something that I think it was in second year, first year, some teacher said it, and this actually not a teacher, I just realized मैं ड्रामा में बोला था, और वो ड्रामा हमारी सोसाइटी होती थी अलिफ अदाब के नाम से NCA में. उसमें मैं डायरेक्टर कहता होता था कि even if you have a part that's like a 2-second role ना, do it, enjoy it so much
like you're the lead.
पूरे play में don't overshine anybody, but enjoy it personally so much, give it so much justice कि सबका काम छोड़ के बंदा कहेगा कि ये बंदा कितना अच्छा लगा, because he was enjoying it so much. And you must have noticed as well कि there's a film that you're watching or you're watching a play, for example, and उसमें एक बंदा होगा, उसका रोल कुछ भी नहीं होगा, उसने आके सिर्फ 2 दफा कुछ बोलना होगा, and you'll remember.
But they're so powerful,
they're so powerful because they're enjoying it themselves. So I feel that the rule for this thing that, you know, if I have a skill set, how do I tell the world about it, is to just every time you do something, even if it's online, even if it's for someone, even if it's a project that you're getting, give it your 102,000% कि कल को आपको सब लोग कहें अच्छा इसका काम मुझे अच्छा लगा, मुझे इसके साथ दोबारा काम करना है. And yes, attach yourselves, learning कभी नहीं रुकनी चाहिए. But I feel वो learning मेरा ये because I always never know how to answer this question because मैंने कभी attach नहीं किया था, मैंने कभी कुछ नहीं किया था, and I worked a lot with Ali Hassan, I worked a lot with Stop Style, I worked a lot with Saima, but we were never attached, so it was never कि अगर Saima मेरे साथ काम नहीं करेंगी तो मैं mind करूँगा इस बात को या मैं इनसे सीखने के लिए काम कर रहा हूँ. वो हमेशा ये था कि इनके साथ काम करते हुए मजा आ रहा है, मुझे मजा आ रहा है, great.
Right. So basically, जो opportunity आ रही है,
I say never say no. At the start, never say no. Even if it's you think that it's the worst thing. You know, it's not a big brand, it's a small brand. Or it's this photographer is approaching. If somebody is approaching you, they mean they give it your 100%.
Right.
Just do it.
Right.
And don't say no. The starting projects that I've done, most of them, and I don't want to name them because I don't want to. Let's say, you know, bring anybody down or say that they were, but some of them were really bad projects. Like they're considered bad projects. We were laughed at. They were seen as ये क्या है? इसकी कोई समझ नहीं आ रही. I lost a lot of clients because I did something for them that they were okay with, and then it didn't work, and then they never hired me. But then they hired me like, you know, 4 years later. But I
sometimes the first time might not be great. Yeah. But just push through.
Just push through and just do things and then own up. Like I to this day say, I had a TED talk recently and I want to talk about failures in that. And मैंने कुछ और सोचा हुआ था and they ask you for an introduction, right? कि आप भेज दें अपना. तो मैंने जब भेजा उनको तो उसमें obviously there were like a lot of things. Oh जी ये भी कर दिया है, ये भी कर दिया, वो भी कर दिया. I didn't realize it कि मैंने लिख के भेजा है. So when they said it out loud and I realized that the people sitting in the crowd, for them, they would think that this person has done so many, like he's done Coke Studio and he's done this and he's done that and pioneer of this and pioneer of that. ऐसी बातें जब कोई कर देगा, so there's a distance that's created now. And they would say कि वो तो वहाँ पे है, तो वो जो भी बात कह रहा है, he's coming from a point where he's reached that. Power, so I started off by saying that I want to talk about this blank piece of paper that we're also scared of as creative because जो हम लगाएंगे वो शायद गलत होगा, तो हम इसी सोच में रहते हैं कि चीज़ अच्छी करें. So लेकिन हम ये realize नहीं करेंगे तो already एक failure है because it's blank. So even if you put a dot on it, you've added something to that. So with that, I changed my entire talk after that. And I said that I don't want to talk about, you know, Coke Studio Pasuri. I want to talk about that play where I was booed off stage as a director. I want to talk about that TV commercial that I did that was banned and then people laughed about it and then made memes on that. And they've been pointed you and then they wrote big paragraphs on you and how bad it was. And I want to talk about those films that I've done which to this day are considered probably one of the worst things that come out of Pakistani cinema. But I own them and I enjoy them and I love the fact that I did them. And not because मैं वो एक rebellious form में कह रहा हूँ, but I'm just saying that things that I learned and the people that I met and
it's through the failures.
It's through the failures. It is always that. So my advice always to young people is that be patient and say yes. And be a yes man at the start. There's a very interesting book called Lateral Thinking by Edward de Bono. He's a thinker and he basically talks about creativity and he talks about lateral thinking and he's like lateral thinking is basically where you say Hashim, this is a red line, and I say either I can say no and negate you instantly and end the conversation, or when I say no, it's going to be a debate. But I can say yes, but it could also be maroon or it could be crimson. And you're like, yes, but I think it's this. So yes, but. So conversation starter hota hai. You're not negating somebody. You're not saying no. You're saying yes, but. So if a person starts thinking like that, that I want to approach this person not because I want to go somewhere, but I want to do it because I love this. And ये natural होगा फिर naturally आएगा. Because then you're not going into a project thinking that मुझे से ये मिलेगा.
इस वक्त तो ज़्यादा मुझे फील होता है जैसे at a younger age तो बस उनको they don't even understand who and how to approach them, and because the big shots they ghost them और Instagram पे जवाब नहीं दे रहे और email का जवाब नहीं दे रहे और you know so they get disheartened. मैं नादिर का मैं मजाक उड़ाता हूँ. नादिर फिरोज, I love him as a photographer, I love him as a friend, I love him as a person, right? But when I started off, I remember I was doing a film and Humayma Malik was in it. And this is not देखोगे प्यार से. And she was in it and उसका ना एक हमें उसकी कोई मुझे image चाहिए था for her room. And Nadir did this beautiful shoot of hers for Hello Magazine, which was in
Mubarak village and with these black pathar and he had और उसके ऊपर हुमायमा is in a black dress, beautiful image. So I messaged him on Facebook. तब Instagram तो नहीं होता था. I messaged him and I messaged him because I loved his work, but मैंने बात करनी थी. So I messaged him and I said that, you know, hi Nadir, you know, I'm Hashim Ali, I'm this young person doing this film and I want to use this image of yours and, you know, if I have your permission to use that, you know, can I? And he never responded. And I still used it though. But because at that time I was like, कभी मैं नादिर के साथ काम कर सकूँगा? Because Nadir and, you know, like उस time पे लोगों को लगता था आर्ट डायरेक्टर सेट बनाता है. अभी भी लोगों को लगता है वो सेट बनाता है. ये आर्ट डायरेक्शन का कॉन्सेप्ट नहीं था. I was like, he does shoots on locations, he does shoots like बाहर मैं कभी जा सकूँगा, कभी हो सकेगा. And you know, like, but I never pursued him like that. And then lo and behold, I like go out on shoots with him. Like people hire me now not because set बनाना है, but because they want a vibe. So they like वो image में आएगी. Even वो जो लोकेशन पे भी आप कर रहे हैं तो वो क्या होगा, या नादिर के साथ मैं इतना काम कर रहा होता हूँ. आई थिंक मैं मोस्ट काम ही अब नादिर के साथ कर रहा होता हूँ, यू नो. सो मैंने नादिर को एक दिन मैसेज दिखाया, वी weren't Facebook friends, so I messaged him. I was like, why aren't we Facebook friends after like years? And I have this message saved and I'm like, Nadir, this was
is how it started.
So I think it was manifestation. I don't know what it was.
Must have been.
But उसमें कोई बात नहीं, आपको कोई रिप्लाई नहीं कर रहा उसका मतलब ये तो नहीं आपको नेगेट कर रहा है. I think अगर आपको कोई वो गोस्ट शायद ना करे, maybe they're busy. But उसमें ये when you're also telling yourself yes but, you know, and then वो ये भी शायद नहीं कह रहे कि आप छोटे हैं. Maybe आप सोचते हैं आप छोटे हैं. You know, I think आपको नहीं करा कोई बात नहीं, जरिया निकलता आएगा, रास्ता निकलता आएगा. But one problem that I do see with the younger generation now, and I don't blame them actually, is the instant gratification. That I've done 2 projects and why am I not somebody? I have done 2 things, why am I not this? Why have I failed in this? You know, I think कोई बात नहीं. आप गिरोगे, आप 10 दफा गिरोगे, आप 100 दफा गिरोगे. I still remember when I was working as an art director. Start में I would be the first person on set, खोतों की तरह काम कर रहे हैं, गधों की तरह काम करने लगे हुए, constantly काम. रात को शूट खत्म होता है, अगले दिन सुबह शूट है. I would not go home, I would get the stuff done. और मुझे होता है इनमें क्रेडिट मिल रहा होता है फोटोग्राफर को, इनमें क्रेडिट मिल रहा होता है, अक्सर आपका नाम ही भूल गए, क्रेडिट ही नहीं डाला. You know, तो मैं पहले बड़ा अपसेट होता था, बहुत क्या मैं कहता कोई बात नहीं. And then suddenly I did this one project for Republic Women's Wear. वो पैलेस था मेरे लिए. बाय द मैंने उस तरह के 10,000 चीजें पहले की हुई थी. वो लिटरली कुछ भी नहीं था.
मुझे भी हुआ, मैं क्या, but this is अब नोटिस कर रहे लोगों से.
तो I was like,
so he's been great for so many years.
But like for me that was a very, like honestly speaking, I was in Turkey for a shoot. पीछे से मेरी टीम उसको बना रही थी, मैं ऑनलाइन देख रहा था, मैं उसमें रातें भी नहीं लगा रहा था. मैंने आखिरी दिन आया था शूट से एक दिन पहले, मैंने आके चीजें ठीक करवाई सारी, जो भी किया. And because आपको नहीं पता किस चीज से आपको अल्लाह मियां उठा दें. When Allah Mian thinks that you're ripe enough to go to the next stage, and you know, be unripe for that stage.
Why not trust the process?
Trust the process. And तब आपको चीज तब मिलेगी जब आप least expect कर रहे होंगे. You know, even with the Coke studio, honestly, Pasuri pe people are like, honestly speaking, मैं कहता हूँ कि Pasuri was something that we all did with our hearts.
Yeah, you're just having fun.
And वो लोगों को अच्छा लगा. Why? I see कि इसका कोई rule या formula नहीं था. इसमें सिर्फ ये था because everybody from Ali Sethi to the director to the art director to the stylist to the music person to the cameraman to light wala, everybody was doing it because they were enjoying it or they enjoyed it. And वही I think rule apply होता है life में, that when you're doing it all the like एक दफा नहीं होगा, 2 दफा नहीं होगा, 3 दफा नहीं होगा, 4 दफा नहीं होगा, 10 दफा नहीं होगा, 100 दफा नहीं होगा, 101 दफा हो जाएगा.
वही ना, वो हम लोग actually we give up कई दफा just before that moment it was going to, you know, happen for you.
मैंने एक I think it was a movie that I watched or it was something or it was a dream, I don't know, but you know that image that you have of this corridor and a door at the end and you're going, तो मैं कहता था life is like that, it's like this corridors of doors. और वो door ना, हर डोर ज्यादा मुश्किल होती है खोलना, और चाबी वहाँ नहीं पड़ी है, कुछ की चाबी सामने पड़ी हुई है, कुछ की चाबी कहीं और पड़ी हुई है, और आपने जाके ढूंढना है, आपने खटखटाना है. कई दफा डोर आपके मुंह पे दोबारा लगेगी और बंद हो जाएगी. You know, it's like a magical Harry Potter kind of a thing. So उससे आगे कुछ बेहतर है, पर वो बेहतर आपको तभी मिल सकता है if you know कि you can open this door. If you can, that means कि उसकी जो अगली डोर उससे मुश्किल है. गेम पे होता है ना, नेक्स्ट लेवल पे जाने के लिए आपको लेवल अप करना है. तो लेवल अप अगर आपने कर लिया है तो आप अगला लेवल कर सकते हो ना. So if you're stopping just before the door open, that means this door is not for you. Go back, go to another corridor, maybe वो दरवाजा आपके लिए हो.
बिल्कुल, वो ना, you cannot give up.
No.
And self doubt और वो सारी चीजें.
Technically, if you love what you do, you will not give up. I feel.
ये भी है, सही
If
बात
you
है.
love yourself, you
Yeah.
will not give up.
Yeah.
If Bilal Ashari can create Maula Jatna, I can. No, I'm just saying. No, honestly, because that person, the passion that he has, people can come up with 10,000. You know what I mean? Like 10,000 excuses. We don't have these people. We don't have this. And still, you come up and you create a movie like that and be patient about it. I think that's like I look up to him as like a person who creates magic and works with magicians.
He's
you know,
amazing.
and the little bits that I've seen, the little bits I've heard, and you know what I mean? Like that's, you don't stop.
Yeah. I mean, in the face of, imagine के एक pause इतना लंबा आया हुआ है.
मुझे लगता है वो भी मसला नहीं है. You know what I mean?
वो उसमें भी रहते हुए he's constantly improving it.
मुझे लगता है वो भी मसला नहीं है. मुझे लगता है the fact that somebody can do this.
Yeah.
Like I genuinely respect people like that. You know, I love Sarmad Khusat for this reason. You know, आपने और वो दिल से मूवी बनाता है. सरमद भी, बिलाल दिल से काम करता है. You know, you guys work from the heart. You know, Fahad Hussain is one person, works from the end. What he's like, मैं कहता हूँ he's everything. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And what he does is he's just made of love and respect for the craft that he does.
Yeah.
He's an artist, and there's so many people like that. और हमें ये समझ नहीं आती that the southern, like जो हमारा एक liberal arts का concept है ना, वो concept ही eastern है. Because हमारा miniature painter भी जो होता था वो एक नहीं होता था, वो बहुत सारे लोग होते. कोई सिर्फ मुंह बनाता था, कोई सिर्फ हाथ पेंट करता था, किसी का काम एक तरह का फूल बनाना होता था. तो miniature painting सब मिलके. So that's an assembly line way before 1920s or 30s जब assembly line का concept आया था. You know, like physically कैसे होता है. तो वो तो miniature painters तो कब से बनाते आ रहे हैं.
I did not know that.
And
that it's the work of many artists.
Don't you know कि किसी का कोई miniature artist भी एक नाम नहीं है. किसका नाम है हमें जो original हमारे मुगल ज़माने में देखते हैं.
नहीं, मेरी art study है ही नहीं, so मेरे लिए तो wow, this is
so it's always that एक person एक तरह का मुंह बनाता होता है, एक person सिर्फ एक तरह के roses paint करता होता है, एक तरह का फूल paint करता होता है. तो मिलके एक school होता था. So school होता था of miniature artist जो बनाते होते थे. फिर उसके बाद even ये मुझे actually फरहीन रज़ा जाफरी जो सिंगर है उसने एक दफ़ा मुझे कहा था. उसने कहा हाशिम तालिब इल्म का मतलब क्या होता है. तो
somebody who wants to study.
जिसको इल्म की तलब हो. राइट. सो वो कौन है? वो सब है. सो अगर आपको किसी और उसमें कोई ये नहीं बताया इल्म जो है वो एक ही है. इल्म आर्ट का भी है. सो एवरीबडी कैन बी एवरीबडी. You don't need to have a backing in, like you said, in art to be a photographer. You need an eye to be a photographer. You need the passion and the heart and the resilience.
And what were you like अभी जो बच्चे जैसे you know आपको लगता है कि मैं हूँ एक चीज़ और मुझे कोई हायर नहीं कर रहा, लेकिन उस प्रोसेस में से अगर कोई हायर आपको या कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी सर नहीं मिल रही, सो खुद से क्या क्रिएट कर सकते हैं टू प्रैक्टिस.
मैं तो कहता हूँ आजकल इतना आसान है ऑनेस्टली. लाइक visibility of stuff is so easy. Just keep on doing it on Instagram.
Just keep practicing with your friends and right.
There's a guy who I follow in India. मुझे उसका नाम भूल गया. He's a young kid. He's like I think 14, 15. He's I think he's Indian or Sri Lankan. I might be wrong. But what that guy does is that वो अपने phone से ना he takes these pictures. वो लेता होता था अपने घर में ही ना, वो चादर लटका के उसके सामने वो पोज कर रहा है. यंग सा पतला सा बच्चा है. And recently I found out he did a collaboration with I think Vogue India or something. And और Gucci ने उसको approach किया. And then Coke did that. Because आप online डाली जा रहे हो. There's so many artists. बेमिसाल is this artist who I discovered through Instagram initially. And you know what she does is that every day she would make a makeup look and लगाती. Now she's working as a makeup artist, stylist, art director.
Right.
She's working as a because I think visibility now is way more, but again it's resilience. You cannot expect कि मैं एक image लगाऊंगा और कल को viral हो जाएगा. नहीं होता. आज तक हमारे images हम लगा रहे थे viral नहीं होते. कोई हो जाए हम बहुत surprise होते हैं. ये कैसे viral हो गया?
ये क्यों हुआ है? वो वाला क्यों हुआ था?
Exactly. तो वो आपको नहीं पता.
Right.
तो I think visibility बहुत ज़्यादा है. The beauty is you don't actually need. And I think clean your Instagram. I always feel
curate
that clean
it.
and curate your social media that you see things. You see people and things that inspire you and not things that जहाँ पे आपको लगे ना कि इस चीज़ से मुझे ना थोड़ी सी लाइक हो रहा है कि मैं इस लेवल पे नहीं हूँ एंड बैड वे में वो आपके लिए टॉक्सिक है, उसको फॉलो ना करो, उसको ना देखो, देखो उन चीज़ों को जो आपको इंस्पायर कर, जो आपको लगता है मुझे ऐसा कुछ मैं कर सकती हूँ, मैं कर सकता हूँ, यू नो। आजकल तो ऑनेस्टली स्पीकिंग एज फोटोग्राफी भी व्हेन आई लुक एट इट, योर फोन कैमरास आर सो स्ट्रांग, आप कैंपेन निकाल सकते हो। बिल्कुल, हार्पर बाजार इंडिया का कवर आया था जो फोन पे शूट हुआ ओप्पो पे, एंड यू नो आप सो वो इतना कुछ हो रहा है, सो यू कैन बी अ फोटोग्राफर एट होम डूइंग नथिंग, यू डोंट नीड टू, the only thing you're putting in it is hard work and time. You know, you're not putting in money, you don't need to put in money.
Well, you need to spend more time developing your aesthetic.
Study. Educate yourself.
Critically देखें चीज़ों को,
और I feel never ever say that your work is amazing. हाँ, मैं तो आज तक मैं काम देखता मैं कहता हूँ ग्रेट, इसमें गलत क्या है, गलतियाँ निकालूंगा, मैं ये कर सकता था, ये 2 सेकंड लंबी चीज़ हो गई, अच्छा डायरेक्टर ने ये किया, अच्छा उसने मेरा जैसे एक बहुत ज़्यादा होता था शुरू में मुझे कि यू नो मैं इतना बड़ा सेट बनाया तो नज़र ही नहीं आया, यू नो, एंड में तो कपड़े ही नज़र आ रहा, तो फिर मैं क्या करता था, मैं उसकी वीडियो बना लेता था,
हाँ, अपने काम के लिए,
और मैं अपने काम का बना के मैं उसको फिर शेयर कर देता, अगर मुझे लगे उसमें ये तो क्या कसूर है, मे बी मैं कुछ गलत किया,
एंड आल्सो वही ना हर, बिकॉज़ इट्स अ ग्रुप एफर्ट एंड it takes a village to do a shoot.
तो
right, so जिसने जो काम किया है, it's their right to document it and show it in their own way. अब आपने वाइड शॉट लगा दिया, उसमें आपका सेट नहीं दिख रहा, that's not, वही ना किसी की गलती नहीं, आप do what you want.
देखिए जो रिक्वायरमेंट जिस चीज़ की है जैसे, you know, और जिस तरह से, and I think constant change. Constant change is something, and not a deliberate change, but whenever you feel that you're becoming stagnant, do something different, try something different, force yourself, get out of the comfortable spot जो बन गया।
What do you do to get out of comfort?
I don't do that, man. मैं तो मेरे साथ तो सिंपल सी बात होती है, मुझे जिस काम में मजा नहीं आता मेरे से होता ही नहीं। लोग नहीं कहते कि पैसे के लिए कर दो, कोई बात नहीं, अपनी टीम भेज दो, ऐसे मेरे से वो, मैं बता रहा हूँ अब वो होता ही नहीं है।
तो देखो ना, हम लोग what I want to spell out for people who are listening to you is कि जो हमें हाशिम इंस्टाग्राम पे दिखता है, which is हर दिन कोई शूट, या मैं कहती हूँ हर दूसरे दिन कोई पोस्ट लग रही होती है ना कि ये भी किया, अब ये शूट था, हर दिन तो शूट नहीं हो रहे होते ना इस तरह से।
So एक टाइम पे मैं बताता हूँ होते थे, and I was doing all of that. Now I'll be very honest, मैंने पूरा जो कुछ काम नहीं किया है, and I am so happy. The only thing I did was Karachi, you know, where I put in my money as well, because I was one of the sponsors for the thing.
Right.
But I am so satisfied right now. I have bills to pay. I have a team to pay. I don't know वो कहाँ से होगा, पर मुझे ये पता है मेरी इंश्योरेंस अल्लाह मियां के साथ है, और मैं चैरिटी देते हुए कहता हूँ अल्लाह मियां इंश्योरेंस है मेरी। I don't have insurance money. This is my insurance. You save me now. You know. But the thing is that every day I'm not working. I was working at one point, and it wasn't because I was great then and I'm not now. I might be doing better projects now. I might have better visibility now. But at that time, one thing that I was doing to myself was I was not taking care of my health. I was not taking care of my personal relationships. I was not taking care of my own
mental health.
And I to this day remember one of the that's why Maram ko like जहाँ मर्जी मैं उनको दिल से दुआएं देता हूँ. She told me once, Hashim, do you think you need therapy? And I was like, why? She's like, not because you're doing anything wrong, because you're working so much. When are you giving yourself time? When are you taking time out for yourself? You know, where is that half an hour of the day that you take for yourself? You're constantly surrounding yourself with work. Are you a machine? You will die out soon. You will die out soon.
Burnout हो जाएगा.
And burnout हो जाएगा. Burnout दूर की बात है. You know, burnout तो आप छोड़ दें. But that was something that I was doing wrong. आप ज्यादा काम करके ज्यादा विजिबिलिटी, पैसे मेरे अकाउंट में उतने ही थे जो मेरा 2 प्रोजेक्ट करके होते थे, और 100 प्रोजेक्ट के पैसे उतने ही रहते थे, कोई पैसे भी ज्यादा नहीं आ रहे,
लेकिन स्ट्रेस लेवल
कहीं और है, खाना मैं नहीं खा रहा, आप रातों को नींद आपकी हराम हो रही है, आपकी कोई फ्रेंड्स को टाइम नहीं दे पा रहे हो, आप अपने घर वालों को टाइम नहीं दे पा रहे हो, आप अपने आप को टाइम नहीं दे पा रहे हो, यू नो हाउ। और मुझे नजर पता है कि छोटी सी चीज से नजर आया, आई वुड गो आउट विद फ्रेंड्स और हम खाना आप ऑर्डर करते हो ना, तो मुझे कहते क्या ऑर्डर करना है, और वेयर डू यू फील लाइक गोइंग, आई तुम लोग बता दो, एंड आई स्लोली रियलाइज दैट आई एक्चुअली डोंट जेन्युइनली नो व्हाट आई लाइक ईटिंग. मुझे जेन्युइनली नहीं पता मुझे क्या पसंद था,
ओह माय गॉड,
बिकॉज़ मैंने अपने साथ टाइम नहीं स्पेंड किया. So जब मैंने टाइम स्पेंड किया तो मुझे पता ही नहीं क्या, तो then I started taking time out. I would take myself out on dates. I actually started doing this. I like अच्छा मैंने I started small होता है ना, तो मैं कहता था दिन के 2 घंटे जो मैंने अपने आप को देने। So मैं क्या करता था, मैं कहता था अच्छा फ्राइडे को मेरे 2 घंटे मेरे लिए, मैंने उसमें क्या करना, I literally would go out watch a movie alone. I would whatever I like because मैं किसी के साथ नहीं है ना attached. I would take myself out for lunches, for breakfast, for dinner. I would do like ये 2 घंटे मैं अपने लिए रख रहा हूँ. I would read a book. I would do whatever I want to do, whatever I feel like. I will not do anything, but I will not pick my phone.
हाँ, काम नहीं करूँगा.
वो क्या हो रहा है कि आप आहिस्ते से मेरी बॉडी को रियलाइज हो रहा है कि आपके कंट्रोल में चीज़ है.
हाँ,
you know. So अभी भी यही है कि कई दफा होता है आपको थोड़ा मुझे डर भी लगता है क्या है कहीं खत्म ना हो जाए सब कुछ, काम ना निकल जाए, ये ना हो जाए, आपको फियर है. When you see people doing a lot and you feel like अच्छा लोग भूल ना जाए, अच्छा मेरे क्लाइंट्स सब वही रह गए जो पहले होते थे, अच्छा नए आ रहे हैं, बट वो फियर मैं कॉन्स्टेंटली 35 प्रोजेक्ट्स नहीं कर रहा मंथ में, you know, but in the end it's about you.
But when you were working back to back, उस वक्त what was driving you to do that, or was it to gain more experience कि हाँ मैंने ना नहीं करना, because that's what we were talking about?
No, I was enjoying it all.
You were enjoying it.
I genuinely was enjoying everything. So वो shoot होता था बेशक छोटे client का या बड़े client का, I would give them my 1000% because I was enjoying it. I had this thing. Maybe I had unresolved traumas. I don't know. मुझे नहीं पता वो क्या था.
घर से बाहर रहना बस मेरा. घर नहीं जाना
था या मुझे अपने आप से बाहर रहना था, because you know we busy ourselves when we are running away from ourselves. I don't know क्या था.
Right.
But मैं यूं था, मुझे ये पता है. मैं मेरे जिंदगी में बैलेंस नहीं था किसी भी चीज़ का. सो वो, और उसमें ये भी नहीं था कि मुझे शायद कुछ बनना है. मुझे आज भी, I'll be very honest, मुझे I hate fame. I hate going out. You might not have seen me anywhere on a party or social gatherings. मुझे आता ही नहीं है. For me, party is sitting, watching a TV show.
I didn't see you at any party because I was also not at the party.
But मैं वैसे बता रहा हूँ, like I don't go out, like मुझे नहीं होता वो. But मुझे ये
like you're a private person.
I think I'm a very private person. And मुझे ये होता है कि
लेकिन काम ही जिंदगी बन जाती है ना.
तो
हमने बना ली हुई थी ना, I've been through that as well, कि उसको ही बना लिया ना, and then you're like what.
And मुझे बिल्कुल ये चीज़ I think affect नहीं करती कि कोई ज़्यादा काम कर रहा है तो मैं उसका काम ले लूँ. मेरा काम कम तो नहीं हो रहा, मेरा काम खत्म तो नहीं हो रहा.
इस तरह के लोग सारे नहीं होते, कुछ लोग हैं ऐसी सोच वाले.
Obviously हैं, and मैं मानता हूँ.
But that's a wrong approach, गलत
मुझे कोई कहता भी है तो मैं कहता हूँ इसमें कोई मसला तो नहीं. मुझे in the end कहते ना, आपका जब ग्राफ लाइफ के ऊपर जाता है आपके साथ सब होते हैं, जब आपका ग्राफ नीचे आता है कोई नहीं होता. You know? So अगर आप ये रियलाइज कर लो ना, तो फिर आपको ये होगा कि मैंने ऊपर भी अकेले जाना है, मैं नीचे भी अकेले उतरना है, तो मैं अपनी टर्म्स पे उतर जाऊँ, चढ़ जाऊँ. And life कभी भी I think यूं नहीं होती, वो यूं ही है.
बिल्कुल.
And do I think कि my life graph is going down because I'm doing less work? No, I actually think I charge way more now. And मैं आराम से सुकून से कर रहा हूँ.
Right.
And मैं जितना काम करता हूँ मैं उसको कवर अप कर रहा हूँ, मुझे कोई स्ट्रेस नहीं है, मुझे कोई मसला नहीं है, मैं अच्छा काम कर रहा हूँ.
दिमाग का और दिल का सुकून भी ज़रूरी है while you are on this journey towards achieving your goals. Self-employed है ना हम लोग तो सारे. Creatives are all self-employed because आपने अपने आप को खुद पुश करना है, कितना काम लेना है.
It's really interesting. We're self-employed but we act as if we're employed. सेल्फ तो रखते ही नहीं हम. बिल्कुल भी नहीं. सेल्फ का तो ख्याल ही नहीं रख रहे, तो सेल्फ मर जाता है फिर.
क्योंकि बाय द वे ये आवर्स भी किसी के पास आप नौकरी करो ना, वो फिर आपको ना चाहते हुए.
मुझे तो नौकरी करना ज़्यादा आसान है.
मैं वही कह रहा हूँ, वो लोग तो ना चाहते हुए दे हैव रूल्स कि हाँ इनको हम सारे ज़िंदगी के लिए नहीं एम्प्लॉय कर सकते, कि 24 घंटे नहीं हमारे. लेकिन हम लोग वी आर इफ दिस इंडस्ट्री द क्रिएटिव एडवर्टाइजिंग वर्ल्ड दैट वी आर पार्ट ऑफ, वो तो 24 घंटे ऑन है. बिकॉज दे विल बी लाइक सुबह फजर के वक्त शूट करना है हमने स्टार्ट, तो आपका सेट बिल्डिंग ऑल ऑफ दैट वो तो कितने घंटों पहले से हो रहा है. सो हम लोग तो वी लाइक
जिस तरह एक पे बाउंड्रीज आप सेट करते हो. I feel और शुरू में as young people we don't because and I think that's generational trauma that we have and that comes from रख रखाव वाली बात. कि हम शुरू में कहेंगे अच्छा हम संडे को भी फोन उठा लेंगे, हम रात के 2 बजे भी उठा लेंगे, हम सुबह 6 बजे भी उठा लेंगे. हम आधा टाइम तो I feel we're therapists as well for the rest of the team and the clients and everything. नहीं हो जाएगा, नहीं बारिश आप परिश हम खुदा हैं. You know I actually started saying this to clients now. I say that. तो मुझे कहते हैं बारिश होगी तो क्या होगा, मैं कहता हूँ तो फिर क्या होगा. बारिश हो जाएगी नहीं मैं कहता हूँ बारिश हो जाएगी तो लाइक तो फिर हम क्या करें मैं कहता हूँ देखिए मैं आपको बताता हूँ I'm not like I can't physically stop rain हम ऊपर चादर डाल देते हैं बड़ी सी मैंने कहा फिजिक्स इसका मतलब है कि अगर मैं सेट के ऊपर फॉर एग्जांपल चादर लगाऊंगा दैट मींस कि पानी उसमें इकट्ठा होगा जिसका पानी का एक वजन होगा तो दीवारें तो अंदर गिर जाएंगी सो व्हाट यू कैन डू इज यू कैन वेट एंड यू कैन जस्ट काम डाउन एंड सी के हो जाएगा अगर बारिश होनी है ना तो आपका शूट तबाह भी हो जाएगा अगर बारिश में तबाह नहीं होना है ना तो आपके शूट को कुछ भी नहीं होगा this tawakkal is very important I feel
I'm just trying to stress on this with you so that the people who are listening they don't feel that they need to do this later. They can integrate these little things now. Start doing that now.
I respect those kids. I love those kids who turn around and say, sorry, I'm busy right now. Can I get back to you? I respect that line.
Right.
I respect kids who say, these are my charges. Yes, I have never done anything, but I charge 35K for this thing. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah.
You know, and I respect you.
Right.
And आपको ये करना चाहिए आपको कुछ rules set करने चाहिए this small thing happened when we were doing Coke Studio a lot of these young people were creating these artworks so मुझे बहुत कुछ अच्छे लगते थे and I said that for me the memories will not be like screenshots printed out and like लगाऊं I want to buy these artworks so I would message these people and they were like no we'll just give it to you for free and I was like no I want to pay you because if I don't then you think that you're worth nothing you're worth something that I want to pay you for the art that you've created and it's the love that you've done and I feel that as we are actually honestly speaking Aabroo we're at a point where we can exploit people but it's our thing not to exploit them it's their right to not be exploited
the way we were
the way that we were but wo koi karega to hoga I still remember Zara Pirzada was one of the first models who started saying I will charge for a video because that's a separate thing that I do
that's a
and I think that was brilliant people used to be like वो extra charge करती है तो कहती थी अब ना करें कोई बात नहीं मैं नहीं करती you know and I love that and that's the rule that I've also set up now आप नहीं afford कर सकते कोई बात नहीं मुझे मसला नहीं है
right but उसके charges हैं you know
आपने हाँ and secondly also I personally feel that younger people should realize that नहीं मैं एक दिन अपने दिन देना है मैं ओवर वर्क नहीं करूँगा काम नहीं जाएगा होता क्या मुश्किल से काम आना शुरू होता है तो then we forget you know we forget ourselves अपने आप को ना भूलें because उसके बाद बंदा बहुत पछताता है बाद में
are you now taking care of yourself
I am I think I've surrounded myself with people who remind me also that beta ab aap line cross karne lage you know and I think wo overall with time also I keep on saying that you know I was this growing up now I'm kind of this you know like now the waves are slightly slower now like I've become calmer in life and I think mera honestly I'm a spiritual person I have these things which I always connect back to you know spirituality and you know so मेरे लिए उसने बहुत आसानी की थी
good
मैं कोई वो I'm wearing shorts I have these like things जो शायद आदमी ना पहनते हों you know like I am not the most I would say person मैं maybe सारी 5 वक्त की नमाज़ें ना पढ़ता हूँ but मुझे ये पता है कि अल्लाह में बहुत मोहब्बत करते हैं अल्लाह में मेरा ख्याल रखेंगे मैं अगर 100% दे रहा हूँ ना तो मेरे साथ कभी कुछ बुरा नहीं होगा experience has also taught me that I've given 100% to projects and they have gone very well or very bad but मेरा ट्रस्ट ये रहा है कि अगर बुरा हुआ है तो उसमें कोई बेहतरी है और वो पता चल जाती है पर वो एक्सपीरियंस ने मुझे सिखाया
बिल्कुल
पर उसका मतलब ये नहीं बंदा हाथ पे हाथ रख के बैठ जाए अल्लाह में सब कुछ कर देंगे no go out do things put stuff on Instagram be visible there is this new photographer I discovered Saboor भूरे के नाम से उसका Instagram page है that guy is I think 17 or 18 right now he made a short trailer for like a fan fiction trailer for Spider-Man Aabroo you see it and you cannot say that that's a 17-year-old kid and I'm pretty sure that wasn't his first thing he probably created 10,000 things before that and they were bad have you seen Hassan Rahim's old videos so Hassan Rahim ki YouTube pe videos hai when he was a child and he's singing and वो गाना भी सही शायद नहीं गा रहा है but he's enjoying it so much and you see him and then no way can you say that Hassan Rahim was a one trick pony or one person who just got up and made this
because
because that's a journey
when people don't know or don't research it But if
and
you
he
do,
was
you
putting
could
stuff
find...
out on YouTube.
Yeah.
Maybe उसके 300 views होते, 200 views होते, 103 views होते. And सबूर के साथ भी ये है. I worked with him recently yesterday, and the way that kid is, and that's how Natasha was, and that's how I was, and that's how probably you were. That हम वो एक चीज करते थे दिल से करते थे, और वो तब बुरी भी होती होगी, लेकिन हम own करते थे.
ओए बहुत जज्बे के साथ.
And I love that. So I think वही होना चाहिए कि वो जो कहते हैं ना, लोग कहते हैं कि हमें कोई मिल नहीं रहा है, हमें कोई opportunity नहीं मिल रही. Create your opportunities.
I mean, I'll be honest, this podcast I'm doing it for the first time. हर episode में गलतियाँ हैं. हर एपिसोड में, यानी कोई मैं किस प्रोडक्शन से करूँ, कुछ भी नहीं. आई एम डूइंग इट, आई सेट इट अप, लिटरली आई पार्क आउटसाइड द गेस्ट हाउस एंड देन दैट्स व्हेन आई सेट इट अप. वो कैमरा कभी गलत लगा हुआ है, कभी ऑडियो ऑफ है, कभी बहुत सारी चीज़ें, बट आई एम नॉट, आई वही ना, एंड आई एम लाइक ओके, this is something I feel like doing and I enjoy it so much. Why the hell am I stopping myself कि अब ये हो, अब मैं हाशिम को कहूँगा अच्छा नहीं यार गाड़ी को भी ज़रा सा कुछ बना देते हैं, कोई सेट बना लेते हैं, let's do something. Why? I mean वो भी करेंगे
जब करना होगा
वो करेंगे, हाँ वो करेंगे, but
I think it's just
अपने आड़े ना आए.
Enjoy and you enjoy it, and life is so simple. इतनी मुश्किलें हमने डाली होती हैं, इतना हमने किया होता है, तो कुछ है ही नहीं. So simple. And वो पैसे वाली बात पे आके बात खत्म होती है ना usually when people say कि आप you probably talking from a point of privilege or maybe you don't understand that and I do but again if you're doing something from love and because you love it so much money will come running towards you. Not एकदम से नहीं होगा,
वो भी नहीं,
it will take time, things will take time, but money will come to you.
Like now in एक और चीज़ इसके पीछे हम भागते हैं which is hits and likes and follows. अब again अपनी ही एग्जांपल देखिए कि अभी मेरे शो को कोई नहीं देख रहे लोग, अभी कोई इतने व्यूज इतनी कोई कुछ नहीं है, but I know I'm being persistent, I know I'm enjoying this and this will build, I'm building something.
वो हो
तो आप चाहे जिस एज में भी शुरू करें, आपको वो सेल्फ डाउट भी होता है, सब कुछ. I feel all of those things, but I'm like no, why am I taking this any differently than how I started photography?
Of course.
This is just something I feel like doing now. This is and
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying it. तो अभी नहीं होगा तो कल को कोई और देख लेगा, कल को कोई नहीं तो उसके बाद
और
देख लेगा.
वो कब उसने पिकअप करना है, कब उससे क्या और मजेदार क्या बनना है, where will this lead me next? I don't know.
Who knows?
So just go with it and just do what you love.
I say कि look at the person that inspires you the most and look at their life journey. Or just read up on them, and you'll actually realize that no person that you get inspired by is somebody who came from a even Kim Kardashians अगर आप देखो, ठीक है, they came from nothing and went into something. There was resilience. There's a lot of work that they do. Anybody, anyone. There is a breaking point. You get broken down. You break down. You are pulled apart. And then you piece back together, and then you rise up, and that's when you get it. And वो करना बहुत ज़रूरी है.
और वो उस वक्त like you said, मुझे और मराम को भी यही हुआ था कि जब हमें actually था ना कि we are photographers, हमारा स्टूडियो होना चाहिए, हमारा स्टूडियो होना चाहिए. It took us from that moment of angst and all that obsessiveness, कोई 7 साल बाद हमारा स्टूडियो बना.
हाँ.
और जब बनते ही you're like whoa, this is when it was the right time.
Exactly.
तो आपको जल्दबाजी हो रही होती है when you're young कि अभी होना चाहिए. If I had this, it will happen. No, it's actually Allah giving you that time to become
that. And मैं कहता हूँ कि बल्कि अच्छा है, if you're not getting something, always know that either it's not good for me or it's not the right time. Because कई दफ़ा ये भी होता है that getting a lot of things earlier than they're expected makes you lose them faster. जितनी
जल्दी आते हो उतनी जल्दी चला जाता है.
उतनी जल्दी आते हो आप constantly, because if there's a inner turmoil happening that am I good enough, then you constantly stay in this fear कि सब कुछ चला ना जाए.
This is just time preparing you for you're improving in all this whole waiting process. You are improving.
जिस तरह कहते हैं ना कि आपकी जो वज़ू है, कहते हैं वज़ू जो होता है वो चलते हुए पानी से होता है, पता है ना. सो यू कांट लाइक कहते हैं जो स्टिल पानी होता है वो नापाक होता है. सो आपको वही चीज़ बता रही है एकदम से दैट चलते रहो, हिलते रहो, मूवमेंट है. एंड सेकेंडली हम कहते हैं ना एवरीथिंग सपोज्ड टू एंड, राइट. सो इसलिए बंदा बस सोच ले कि सब चीज़ें ख़त्म होना है, पर ख़त्म चीज़ वो होती है, चीज़ वो चीज़ है जो एक जगह है, जो चीज़ मूव करी तो वो चीज़ ही नहीं रहती है। सो ट्रिक ये है कि आप मूव करते रहो, आप कभी ख़त्म ही नहीं होगे। आप कॉन्स्टेंटली चल रहे हो, आप कॉन्स्टेंटली मूव कर रहे हो, यू ट्राइंग न्यू थिंग्स, यू डूइंग न्यू थिंग्स, तो आप ख़त्म कैसे हो सकते हो? इट्स इम्पॉसिबल।
And if you keep moving the way Hashim has told you, फिर awards and recognition जो तुम लिखते हो अपने captions में, you're like, I don't know how this happened, I don't know, I'm humbled, I don't know where I got this award from, but thank you.
But हो गया, like नहीं, actually में समझ नहीं आता, और अभी तक वो inner mind कह रही होती है, अच्छा पता नहीं क्यों हो रहा है, इतना भी amazing नहीं थी ये चीज़ें, honestly, like I'm not being like, actually में like most of the times I don't know कि किस तरह हो जाता है, और most of the time चीज़ें बहुत ज़्यादा ख़राब भी होती हैं.
But I'm so proud of you for all the recognition that you are receiving. It is well deserved. आप अपने आप को मत doubt करें.
नहीं मैं doubt नहीं कर रहा, but I'm just saying that
it is real. It's happening.
Yeah.
It is your time.
Tests होते हैं, so one should not also just get like shiny things में confused भी ना हो जाए. You know, constantly keep on reminding yourself where you started from and who you are. Again, self-employed.
Yeah.
Remember the self in that.
Yeah. How did it feel when you won the award? The Sadkan.
It
right?
was.
It's a Sadkan.
Sadkan. I still don't know. Like I don't know. Like how do I feel about that? Because it was so like strange. But being awarded by like these pioneers of artists that you hear about, and even being awarded with people who you know who are something or doing something, and the best part was that a lot of people who were getting these awards were very like businesses and things that were smaller as well that you don't know about. So वो इतना अच्छा लग रहा था that you know there's a, so that recognition is something which was quite amazing. And मुझे तो अभी तक वो होता है कि I don't know, like वही बात है कि वो things just follow when you stop looking for them, I guess.
Yeah.
When you stop wanting them, then things come to you, and then you actually realize कि उसकी शायद नहीं थी want, इतनी ज़रूरत नहीं थी. वो by product था इन चीज़ों का. The things that you love.
That's amazing, isn't it? And I think it's a moment that you should bask in its glory. कि अपने प्यार से जो सारा कुछ create करते हो, उसके it's a reward for that.
Yeah. और सारी मैं कहता हूँ सारी उन बातों का जहाँ भी get upset कि ये क्यों नहीं हुआ, वो सब कुछ कहीं ना कहीं और किसी और जगह से मिलना था,
है ना?
आपको पता ही नहीं होता उस चीज़ का.
Oh. Thank you, Hashim. I don't feel like ending the conversation. We could always switch this off, and you can, we could just chill out some more.
Yeah, we can totally do that.
Thank you. Words of wisdom from Hashim.
Not at all. This is quite amazing.
I like this. We have not caught up for a long time, so this was good.
We haven't.
Thank you.
No